This video is to provide information regarding the Essex Village property. We will share our phone number and email address at the end of the session so that you may follow up with us should you have any questions after this presentation. Essex Village Apartments is located in Holyoke, Massachusetts. There are several buildings included in this apartment community. They are located at 213 to 215 Chestnut Street, 188 to 190 Chestnut Street, 344 Appleton Street, and 207 Elm Street. Essex Village will include a total of 41 affordable units. There will be 23 units for households whose income is at or below the 60% area median income, and 18 units for households whose income is at or below the 30% area median income. Some of the apartments at Essex Village have preferences. Having a preference means that when sorting the waiting list, these units will first be offered to applicant households who meet the eligibility requirements and need the features. There are 8 project-based Section 8 units available. 4 of these units have preference for Department of Mental Health clients, and one of the units is barrier-free, meaning that it is fully accessible by wheelchair and will have preference for an applicant household that is in need of those features. There are 10 project-based MA rental voucher program units. All of these units have preference for households that are experiencing or are at risk of experiencing homelessness. One of these units will also include sensory adaptations and includes modifications for hearing and vision. This unit will have preference for an applicant household in need of those features. We have 3 additional barrier-free units that are not subsidized where the unit has been made fully accessible for wheelchair access. These units have preference for applicant households that are both in need of the features and who have a mobile subsidy voucher. Enjoy a quick video showing the construction of the apartment community. Apartment income mix. Essex Village will have apartments available for different income levels. As shown on this chart, we have a total of 18 units for households that have income at or below 30% AMI. These units will have project-based subsidy that will be used by the household living in the unit. We have 23 units for households at or below 60% AMI. Income limits. HUD releases updated income and rent limits every year. We expect to have the income and rent limits for 2026 between mid-April and mid-May. Typically, the income limits increase slightly each year, but there have been times the limits have decreased. We won't know what changes will occur until they're announced by HUD. As you can see, the current income limits, looking at a household of 2, at 30% AMI, would have to gross less than $28,680 to qualify. At 60% AMI, the household would need to gross less than $57,360. Initial rents. These rents are subject to change when HUD releases the 2026 income and rent limits for use. At this time, the anticipated initial rents for the non-subsidized units are as follows: $1,344 for 1 bedrooms, $1,615 for 2 bedrooms, and $1,866 for 3 bedrooms. What's included? Amenities. Rent includes all utilities, heating and cooling, water, hot and cold, trash removal, dumpsters, and electricity. Heating and cooling is provided by mini-split units in each apartment. These are electric. All appliances in the unit are electric. Mini-splits, stove, fridge, dishwasher, etc. The 213 Chestnut Street building has a laundry room on each floor. All other buildings have a central laundry room, with accessible units having in-unit laundry. Mail stations are located in the lobby or in the front of each building. In the 213 Chestnut Street building, all units are garden style, one-level layout, accessible units on the first floor, no elevator. In other buildings, 2 and 3 bedroom units are townhouse style apartments with an upstairs and downstairs. 1 bedroom units, garden style, one-level layout located on either the first or second floor. 2 and 3 bedroom wheelchair accessible units will be ground level first floor units. Parking will be available on a first come, first served basis. Each household will be required to register their vehicle with the office to obtain a parking sticker for their vehicle. No on-site guest parking spaces are available. 213 Chestnut Street does not have a dedicated parking lot. However, there is ample street parking and a free public parking lot adjacent to the building. Essex Village is a pet-free community. Reasonable accommodation requests for assistance, service, and companionship animals will be processed on an individual basis. Essex Village is a smoke-free apartment community. No smoking is allowed in the units or common areas. Marketing and lease-up schedule. General marketing began February 2026. Applications available March 2nd, 2026. Application deadline May 1st, 2026. Tenant lottery selection June 1st, 2026. Applicant screening process begins June 15th, 2026. Occupancy anticipated to begin August 2026 to December 2026.
Application process. When completing your application, be sure to answer every question. If a question does not apply to you, you can mark it not applicable, or NA. Do not mark NA over entire sections or pages of the application. Mark each question and each section individually. Please include all of your contact information, address, phone numbers, and email, so we can reach you in case we need additional information to process your application. We may also need to contact you with updates to the application, lottery, or screening process. When you submit your application, we date and timestamp it. Your application is then reviewed for completion. If it is complete, it will be assigned a lottery code. If it is incomplete, we will notify you so that you can complete it. This is one important reason to make sure you always include all your contact information on the application. After you submit your application, you will receive a confirmation letter in the mail within 30 days. This letter will include your unique lottery code. Lottery process. We use a lottery system to create a list of all completed applications. Your unique lottery code is entered into the lottery. These codes are randomly ordered, and this becomes the initial waiting list for the property. All applicants on the list will receive a unique confirmation letter telling them their initial waiting list position. After the lottery, we will schedule screening appointments for the applicants in the top section of the list. These applicants will be notified of the date and time scheduled for the screening appointment. Applications received after the deadline for the lottery will be added to the end of the waiting list chronologically, based on the date and time of their application. Screening process. When your application is near the top of the waiting list, Wayfinders will contact you to make a screening appointment. There are many important documents you will need to present during this appointment. Please be sure to get organized before your screening appointment. We will ask you to provide identification, like birth certificates, social security cards, and picture IDs. Income information, like benefit letters, pay stubs, employment offer letters, self-employment income verification, tax return documents, student financial aid, child support, alimony, or documents for any other income your household receives. Asset information, such as bank accounts, real estate information, whole life insurance, stocks, bonds, or prepaid debit cards. We also require 5 years of landlord history, and we perform a credit and background screening. We do not obtain your credit score, and it is not a hard inquiry on your credit. We gather information about your credit accounts, public records, housing court, or criminal records. Once we have completed the screening process, you will be assigned a unit number, and the application packet will be submitted to the Wayfinders Compliance Department for approval. When you are approved by Wayfinders and you accept your new apartment, we'll let you know when you can move in. Please note that some units in new developments have rental subsidies attached to them. This means that if we determine you may qualify for one of these units, you will need to go through an additional screening. We'll reach out to you if that's the case and guide you through that process. After the screening. When all available units are filled, all remaining eligible applicants will stay on the waiting list based on their original placement in the lottery. If an applicant is offered an apartment but turns it down, that apartment will be offered to the next eligible applicant. We hope this video has helped you understand why it is important to complete your application and informed you about the selection process for an apartment in this development.
Frequently asked questions. What are personal references, and what are they used for? Personal references are individuals you authorize wayfinders to contact regarding your application screening process. They can be anyone from the community that you have a relationship with aside from family members and personal friends. Wayfinders will use letters of reference from your personal contacts should you be unable to provide 5 years of landlord history. What are credit references and what are they used for? Wayfinders does perform a credit/background check as part of the screening process when processing applications for apartments. Occasionally, an application may not have credit accounts that appear on their credit history, or they may be in a situation where a portion of their credit report is less than satisfactory. In those situations, we would conduct screening using credit references that can verify your reliability and payment history. Credit references can be general credit accounts, store credit accounts, buy here, pay here, car loans, car insurance, or even rent-a-center accounts. Why haven't I received a letter with my lottery code yet? We will begin emailing lottery codes April 1st, 2026. If you do not receive a letter with your lottery code by May 15th, 2026, please contact us for more information. What do I do if my application is returned to me? Several applications received by mail were missing information or incomplete. These applications can't be accepted into the lottery. If you received your application back in the mail, complete and answer any highlighted questions and sections and return to 1780 Main Street, Springfield, Massachusetts, in person or by mail before May 1st, 2026. What do I do if my household, contact, or income information changes after I submit my application? Contact us by phone or email as soon as possible with the updates. Thank you for viewing this information session for Essex Village Apartments. Should you have any questions or need further assistance, please contact us. Email is preferred at essexvillagerc@wayfinders.org, but you may also contact us by phone at 413-233-1700.